Perfect.
We have to be a little careful how we approach this subject because of our occupations. So there's a lot of, just like the anti-vax, pro-vax, anti-this, pro-that. It's always something else. And so on this particular episode, we're going to talk about our anti-2A folks and the stuff they feel about it. We're not saying you're right. We're not saying you're wrong. But how you feel about some of these comments and rationale, if you will, that the anti-2A people have?
I mean, so like, first thing is it's a right to bear arms. And when you understand like the Constitution and shit, it's not that it's giving us the right to do that thing. It's more or less reminding the government, like, hey, don't forget these people had these rights. And it's just that simple. The counter argument is when it was written, they didn't have AR-15s and 14 round shotgun, shotguns that hold 14 shells and shit like that. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, and points aside, I mean, I feel that if it's available commercially, you should be able to carry and have whatever you want. I mean, now, granted, I understand, certain places, like when I go to work, when I'm in the office, I can't carry. And so I don't bitch and moan about it. I just can't. So, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. You feel, I mean, especially like, unfortunately, when there's a shooting or something like that, it is definitely when it becomes a hot button topic. And luckily, well, no, there was one last week here in Texas. Usually it becomes a really hot button issue of, oh, we got to get rid of this and we got to get rid of that. It's one of those things where emotions take you away from the facts of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always said, if a person has the intent to do someone else harm, I mean, a chair, a car, a dog, a spoon, a baseball bat, a broom. I mean, any blunt object, if that's their intent, a knife, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I mean, we're that's the person. You have to address the issue at the person. Like we've maintained, it's a tool. I mean, it's no simpler than that. If it's laying there on the table, it's not gonna hurt anybody. And I mean, for me, for longest, I've never been anti-2A. I've just never really, I want to say not cared, but it's never really been like, oh, I have to make sure I carry everywhere I go. I have to do this. I have to do that. But to those that do, I mean, more power. But now, as I had a couple of firearms gifted to me, I started looking into it and understanding, there's a whole community with that shit. And then for me, anything that you can learn about and train, I mean, that's the side of it they're not really showing. I mean, there's competition. I mean, there's, kids building communities and, competition shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a whole side that's never even touched on with firearms. It's just, oh, this rifle is the devil. And that's all that should be considered. And I mean, they talk about like ARs and they're like, these assault rifles. Well, they're not really called assault rifles. That's not why the AR and AR-15. So first of all, do a little bit more research and then come to the table. I can give you a situation that just came up in the news. The dude, what's his name? Hitman, I think.
The Wildin' Out?
Yeah. That brother. It seemed like his girlfriend is doing better. And, definitely praying for them, man, because that was a situation where they rolled up on her. And I mean, I'm going to talk to Kim about that a little later, but, they rolled up on a house and thankfully she had a firearm to defend herself. I mean, how many times have there been situations where, you didn't have anything to defend yourself and you on the losing end of that, you know what I'm saying? Because stuff like that, we're talking seconds. I mean, even if soon as the door is kicked open and you call the police, if it takes them, like even there's a police station, maybe 2-3 minutes from my house, a lot of shit can happen in 2 or 3 minutes. And even if you're not trying to use it, even as a deterrent, I mean, is the biggest thing is, 9 times out of 10, if, they realize that, your house ain't the one to be in right now, they gonna leave because they want an easy target. But sometimes, I mean, you get them where they just destined for the mayhem and they choose violence, and that's just what they do. So you have to be ready for that, I think.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, just like, whew, do I want to go down that rabbit hole? Nah, I ain't gonna mess with that one. I ain't gonna mess with that one at all. But
I'm curious, damn it.
We'll talk about that offline. But
sorry, viewers.
Yeah.
Well, what did they say? Well, what did they
say? Yeah. Maybe, we'll get you on the Zoom. We'll talk about it or something. Take your emotions out of it and look at it from the facts. I mean, and look at what the average gun owner does. I mean, and then it's crazy because they're like, oh, those talk about somebody, oh, he had an arsenal because he had all. No, I mean, it becomes like anything, man, really. I mean, it's once you start finding that you like something, there's different tools to do the job. I mean, just like I ride motorcycles. I mean, if I know people that have like 10 motorcycles and they don't have a fleet of motorcycles, they just like motorcycles and realizes there's different tools for different jobs. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to have something that you carry every day, it's not going to be the same as that shotgun. It's not going to be the same as that rifle that you have for protection. It's not going to be the same as that rifle that you have for hunting. Let's say you're in the distance competitive shooting. It's not going to be the same rifle. You know what I'm saying? So different tools for different jobs. And it doesn't mean that, you're trying to hoard, but, if you want to be protected, that's fine. And if you enjoy going to the range, which I didn't get to go to the range this week, and Kim fussed at me a little bit because I could have went, but it was one of them things where I just wanted to, you want to enjoy it. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel like I got to go bang, 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 and come back. So I'm going to go next week for sure. Get my membership.
See, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hold them to it. We're going to hold them to it. I want to see targets, damn it.
Nah, I ain't showing my targets because when I want to practice because it's weird because I'm right-handed and we're going off on a little tangent. I come back, but I'm right-handed, but my dominant eye is my left eye. So being a new shooter, it takes a little more practice for me. So I want to just do some practice and shooting on my dominant side with my non-dominant eye and see what that happens to just kind of get practice. And like you mentioned to me before, practicing with my non-dominant hand. So I want to do some non-dominant practice this time. So my targets are probably going to look like shit.
Yeah, you know what? You should actually talk to Justin about that because he has the same problem. But
okay, yeah, we'll get on and talk. We'll talk about that. So see what he does. But yep. So I mean, again, it's a skill, and you can choose to be as proficient with the skill as you want to be. I mean, and it's training, and that's the thing. And responsible gun owners, which don't get talked about in these discussions, understand conflict avoidance. We don't talk about the lives that are saved from somebody being able to protect themselves. You know what I mean? If somebody breaks in your house and you're able to fend them off. We don't talk about those stories. We talk about, those assholes that decide to go on target practice on a public area. I mean, those are wrong, but that has nothing. That's the mental state of the individual, nothing to do with the weapon. So yeah, without going, here's a counterpoint to bearing firearms to here's the point to why, going back and forth with that. I'm not going to get into that. If you want to hear something like that, check out Kalion Noir and his YouTube channel because he's a lawyer and he does it way better than I could. And he's done many videos like that explaining the counterpoints with data to back it up. And it's very compelling arguments, even for the most non-2A supporting individual. Yeah. So you got to at least have a dialogue and understand the facts on the other side. Go to the shooting range. So what do you think, man?
Well, first, you hit everything. I have nothing. Hit everything. No, the only thing I'd add to all of that, because everything you said was very well put and worded awesomely, so we can't get in trouble, and I appreciate that. And
I'm here to help.
Yeah, you just made very, very valid points, and the only thing I could really add to it is, hey, do you want to protect your family or not? I mean, like you said, y'all could be against weapons and everything like that, but you're not against hitting somebody with a baseball bat or road rage or anything like that, but you're against a firearm. And a lot of people are saying, like, ARs, for example, they're only for the military. They should be used overseas in times of war and all this other shit. However, police are not military. They carry them shits, and they carry them shits too. Should they have them?
I would challenge. Yeah, look at a use case of an AR and you'll because even my thinking as I've gotten to shooting more on ARs, because I mean all I thought is all you need is a pistol and a shotgun and you good to go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then ARs could be used for more than just inflicting bodily harm to people. I know people can hunt with them bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm even thinking about hunting with mine after I take some hunting classes this year. I plan on going deer hunting next deer hunting season with mine. So there's multiple uses for it, and people just take these, like you said, they use their emotions. They take these negative situations with firearms and they condemn the entire tool. Hammers can kill people, bats can kill people, cars can kill people.
Fists have killed people.
Fists have killed people. Police have killed people. Too much. Let me slow down.
That might not help your argument, man, because police have killed people both with and without firearms. And so that don't necessarily.
They have. Thing is, it's a constitutional right. I feel like personally, you can't be against one constitutional right but support the rest of them. It's kind of contradictory to me a little hypocritical, if you will. I have my freedom of speech. I can say I don't agree with the 2A. Do you hear that? To me, that sounds really stupid. I know my rights, and you should not have the 2A right. I mean, it just sounds so stupid to me.
Right, just like you have the right. Somebody has the right to say that they don't believe that you should have firearms. I should have the right to own what I want to own.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, you can have your opinion, cool, have it, but these weak ass facts, I didn't really get to do the research like I did because this topic came up when we was talking about it, about something I seen on one of, what's the name, Colin Noir. Yeah, that guy. And, on a caption on one of his shirts he's selling, his merch, it says something about, anti-gun people are saying that firearms only for the militia and things like that. When in actuality, you do your history, the average everyday person made up the militia. Everybody can be the militia. My 10-year-old son could be a part of the militia if he really wanted to be. So that's not an actual fact. If they're going to have some actual arguments other than using these school shootings as their only source of resources to back their arguments, to me, that's not enough compared to actually believing in the being pro 2A. And I'm going to carry all my weapons on me at all times because I know my rights type person. No, I keep my little everyday carry to protect myself and protect my family, and also protect your family, anti-gunners. I'm there for you guys. If we're in Walmart and something kicks off, a mass shooter wants to come in there, please believe I'm going to try my best to save everybody in there and shoot the shit out of them. So, they should look at it in that type of way. Don't condemn the people who support firearms. Think of it as, I personally don't agree with firearms, so I'm not going to buy one. I'm not going to own one. I'm not going to have one. But I respect the person that does do it, because that same person could possibly save my life, could save my kid's life, my husband, my daughter, my mom. You never know what can happen. Because I mean, legal. Let's go on a legal type thing real quick, as far as getting into a self-defense type situation. That the third party could come in and swoop in and possibly save you with their firearm.
And it's happened. It's happened.
And exactly. You would want to condemn them. I mean, somebody's coming at you with a knife, but this person has a firearm. Are you really going to go, no, I don't believe in those weapons of destruction. Please let him stab me. Don't worry. It'll be okay. Just let him go ahead and stab me. I will not have you pull out that weapon of mass destruction, that fire cannon, that evil devil's device.
That boomstick.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, boomstick. You will not do that. So no, you're going to be grateful that this person had it. And I pray and I hope for everybody who is anti-2A, it doesn't take a life-threatening situation on your person to make you appreciate some of it. Only thing I'm asking, like we always say on Fowl Language Podcast, do your research, read a little bit, talk to somebody who believes something other than you believe, and maybe it'll be a better understanding. And if you are anti-2A and everything like that, like I already said, come up with some stronger arguments.
I would say go to a range with somebody, pay for like a lesson or something, and shoot a couple different firearms. I mean, because a lot of it is just the hobby of it, you know what I mean? And becoming more proficient in the skill.
Yep.
I mean, most people that are proponents of firearms aren't looking to oh, who am I going to shoot today? You know what I'm saying? That's not how they go. I mean, part of the teaching is conflict avoidance.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
That's your last resort is to pull that weapon out your holster. Last resort. For people who ain't pussy, let me put that out there real quick. We're going to go off on a serious note real quick. For the people who ain't pussy, because there are some pussies out there who can't fight, don't know how to do conflict resolution, don't know how to talk their way out of it, or just settle it. They have weak ass egos and they can't fucking fight. So their first instinct is shoot. They pussies. All right, sir. Carry on.
To that point, there's an amazing video that I saw on how to defuse a situation. And if I can find it, I'll pin it in the first comment for everybody to reference. Because, I mean, it's great for anybody. I mean, if you get in an altercation, it's an easy way to diffuse the situation. You know what I mean? So if I can find it, I'll post it.
Oh, yeah. So you got anything else for our anti-2A'ers, man? Or
no, that's all I got. I say go to the shooting range. That's all I got.
And go to the comments. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, the shooting range thing is a really, really good idea. You can't say you can't. That's like a food. I don't like sushi. I'm not going to say I don't like something if I've never tried it. I've tried sushi, don't like it.
I was going to say you've tried sushi with me and sake.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I don't really care for. I love sake.
Ooh, sake and cigars.
I was talking about that like last week, man. Remember, I was thinking about what that tastes like because I got the bottle in there, but I really don't want to open it. I might get another one and just try it, but I might get really, really sleepy because sake really mellows you the hell out, and a cigar mellows you out. It's gonna be a lazy day, but that sounds like a good after drill thing. Yeah, we got we gone somewhere.
So yeah, hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think, and we might have some sake next week.
Yep.